Take a moment of silence to remember Nancy Parika, who was our zoning administrator. So obviously, it's going to be a tough meeting tonight without her, and we're all going to miss her. She was a beautiful human being, did a great job when she was here.
Thank you for that, Brian.
So first, I'm going to do the continuances. So 2549 Mill Pond Realty Trust, 835 Plain Street, has asked a motion to continue to, Andrew, is it the 24th, or we won't have the meeting by then, or
We are hoping to have.
for the 18th?
The 18th.
Okay. So we'll shoot for the 24th, or?
Oh, yes, that's, yeah, the 24th.
All right. So we're going to move that February 24th. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
And then we have 2570, the Drusopoulos family, 239 to 287 Ocean Street. They're also going to the 24th.
Correct.
Motion to continue to 2/24/26. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Why do they want a continuance?
They're not ready, I don't.
I forwarded their email request.
Yeah, didn't you read that?
So they're gonna change the plans again? What's going on?
Well,
They asked for a
they
continuance.
adjusting things as they go along. I mean, it's not a project that large, I don't think would be really that big of a deal to continue it.
Okay.
Your vote, Steve?
No.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye?
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Yeah, not voting. All right, so now we're gonna go, is he on yet, Andrew, or we?
I don't believe Mark is on.
So I'll start with number 2. All right, so we're gonna take these out of order. So E, 2605, Christopher Blackburn. Are you here? The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-1012 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 12-foot by 18-foot screen porch on the northeast side of the dwelling on the property located at 15 Crane Road, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel K11 1401A and is located in the R3 zoning district. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Rick Savant with Stenbeck and Taylor. Yes, as you stated, the homeowners would like to put a small addition off the back of their home. This existing home is non-conforming to the yard setbacks. It is conforming to the lot size. The new work will conform and will not create any new non-conformities, but they do need a special permit to extend this existing non-conforming structure. So that's what we're seeking tonight.
Andrew, do you have anything to add, or?
No, like I said, this is a pretty straightforward request as far as it is a non-conforming. Sorry, I didn't, it's a non-conforming structure as far as the left setback and the front setback, but the addition and the alteration that they're doing to it is to the rear will not create any new nonconformities.
Any questions from the board? Questions from the audience, online? Seeing that there's none, I'm going to move that we close 2605, 15 Christopher Blackburn, 15 Crane Road. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
I'm going to move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions. This project will require a building permit, final as-built, plot plan, and certificate of occupancy, based on the findings that the applicant's proposal to construct a 12-foot by 18-foot screen porch on the northeast side of the dwelling on the property located at 15 Crane Road, as shown on certified location plan showing proposed porch, prepared by Stenbeck and Taylor, dated December 16, 2025, Richards Font, PLS, and on architectural sketch plans, hand-drawn, dated December 20th, 2025 by Fred Arrowsmith meets special permit criteria of Section 1012 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mike Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you very much.
So now we're taking 3 is 2607 Stephen Colella. You here? Is he here, Andrew? or-
I spoke to him after the last meeting, and I knew he was being continued. Maybe they thought,
We're going to continue him again?
well, he is an architect that was doing the, this is a dormer project. It's not like a,
Is this something we can just do without him?
I would hope that you guys could.
Do it without him.
Could go ahead and do it without him. I'd be
Okay, let's
happy to
go.
explain it for you.
Yeah.
You can do, 2607 Stephen Colella, the petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-1012 and 305-1301 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 26.6 by 7 Nantucket-style dormer on the property located at 237 Webster Avenue, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel M. 1070127 is located in the R3 zoning district and the inland wetlands district. Go ahead, Andrew.
So, like I said, this is a non-conforming structure as far as the zoning setbacks on Webster Avenue here. And they are simply looking to add dormers to the structure here. So it's a non-conforming structure. They want to alter and extend it by creating these dormers to it. And that is the extent of the alteration to this non-conforming structure that they want to make.
Okay. Any questions?
it's also in the inland wetland district.
I saw that.
So, like, by the time they need to get their occupancy certificate, they should have a proper plan showing the setbacks.
Okay,
But I mean, that could be a condition.
all right.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board? Questions from the audience? Seeing that there's none, I'm going to move that we close 2607 Stephen Colella, 237 Webster Ave. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mike Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
I'm going to move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions. This project will require a building permit, a final as-built, and a certificate of, does it need a certificate too?
It needs a certificate of occupancy.
Oh, because they did the,
Needs a certificate of occupancy because it's a structural alteration.
okay. All right, and based on the finding that the applicant's proposal to construct a 26.6 by 7 foot Nantucket-style dormer on the property located at 237 Webster, as generally shown on mortgage inspection plan dated June 20th, 2023 by Colonial Land Surveying Company Incorporated, and architectural plans by Herzog Architects dated November 13th, 2025, 2 pages, meets the special permit criteria of 1010, 1012, and 13.01C1 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mike Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 2603, Marin Jahedi. All right. The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-1010 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 28-foot 3 by 17-foot 4 second-story addition with an 8-foot 1 by 17-foot 4 deck on the property located at 598 Ocean Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on M090210, located in the R3 zoning district. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Christian Boren. I'm with Boren Jahedi Architecture. So 598 Ocean Street is an existing non-conforming setback lot. This design does not increase any non-conformity. The building height and footprint remain unchanged with the proposed design, which is consistent with the current neighborhood aesthetic. There's about a 440 square foot increase in livable square footage. The existing building coverage on this lot is 40% maximum. With this increase, we're going to be at about 37%.
Did you say 37?
Correct.
Thanks.
Any questions, Andrew?
So this is, again, it's a non-conforming structure to the rear and to the side and to the front. But they are not expanding the footprint or the building area really of the structure. They're simply adding and extending the second story. The front already has a second story, the rear does not. It's only a one story, so they're going to build that out all the way out for habitable living space. So that's pretty much the extent of it. And it's also not in a flood zone.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Questions from the audience? Seeing that there is none, I'm going to move that we close 2603 Marin Jahidi RA, 590 Ocean Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
I move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions this project will require a building permit, a certificate of occupancy. Based on the findings that applicant's proposal to construct a 28-foot 3 by 17-foot 4 second-story addition and an 8-foot 1 by 17-foot 4 deck on the property located at 598 Ocean Street, as shown on the site plan, proposed second-story by Desimone and Associates, by Anthony M. Delarocco, PLS, and architectural plans by Boren Ahidi, last revised October 28th, 2025, also stamped by structural engineer Paul Swanson, PE, on November 12th, 2025, meets the special permit criteria, 1012 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we have 2609, Vanessa and Gerard O'Toole. The petitioners are seeking special permit in accordance with 305-1012 and 305-902 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 22-foot by 22-foot addition over the existing two-car garage on the property located at 94 Noel Road, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel I-11-1412, is located in the R2 district and a stormwater management overlay district. Go ahead.
Hi there, good evening. Yeah, we are adding an addition over our garage. No change to the footprint of the property. I believe our original property, when built 4 years ago, was non-conforming in the front, but this won't change the footprint of the house.
Right, can you just get the name and address of the market?
What was that? Oh, name and address for the record.
Gerard O'Toole, 94 Norwell Road, Marshfield.
Any questions, Andrew? Bob?
Just what I mentioned on the plans, you know, the current plan that we have is, yeah, it shows, you know, the foundation, but it doesn't really show the actual, what's on the lot now, which I know that there was a shed added. We didn't get a permit for that. So there's, you know, so there's some things that have been added to the site, and I also don't think the lot was developed in accordance with the stormwater management overlay bylaw properly when it was developed. So we might want to just address the shed, get it relocated so that it's in the right position, get a permit for it, and, you know, address any other issues that you might think you need to as far as the stormwater stuff. Because with just this thing, we don't know if like they put in the dry wells or anything else like that.
Okay. you know when the shed was installed?
It was October of 2024.
All right, so that doesn't have any standing. So we can move the shed into confirmation. All right, is there anything else? Anything from the board?
Did you say this house was 4 years old?
Yes, it was built May 2021 is when we moved in.
Shouldn't all the stormwater should be on record?
They're not. They weren't done for some reason. They just didn't get
Right.
filed, apparently.
I'm sorry?
They didn't get filed, from what Andrew said. If it was designed, we don't know if it was built. I'm sure it can get picked up and see if it was done. We'll put that in the conditions.
If I read the architecturals right, you are taking one bedroom and turning it into an office and a hallway to access the other bedroom.
Yes.
So it's going to stay 3 bedrooms?
Yes.
Okay.
Any questions from the audience? Board's all set?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna move that we close 2609 Vanessa and Gerard O'Toole, 94 Norwell Road. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Robert Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mike Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
So now I'm gonna move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions. This permit will require a building permit, certificate of occupancy, and what do we want to say with the shed? Locate the shed
It would need a building permit and need to be located in a compliant location.
all right, adding Andrew's language, and also you want the stormwater management to be,
That's fine.
Be compliant with the
you
stormwater.
think that's fine?
It's all up to him anyways.
It's more about the lot coverage stuff, so if they're not increasing the lot coverage and,
Then we're fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the shed. Based on the findings that the applicant proposed to construct a 22-foot by 22-foot addition over the existing two-car garage on the property located at 94 Norwell Road, as shown on proposed plan and elevations for O'Toole Addition dated November 25th, 2025, by Custom Home Designs, 2 pages on the home situated as shown on the foundation certification plan on April 1st, 2021 by Grady Consulting LLC, Timothy R. Bennett, PLS, meets the special permit criteria of 902-1012 of the bylaw. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Robert Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mike Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So now, 2608, Joseph and Lisa Lacasse. Petitioners are seeking a variance in accordance with 305-1011 of the Marshfield Municipal Code for relief from 305-610 to construct a deck that will be 6 feet from the lot line on the property located at 102 Genevieve Lane, who is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel M05051, located in the R3 zoning district. Go ahead.
Yeah, the way that we have the plan set up right now, the reason we want to do it this way is because the door is on.
Your name and address?
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
I'm Julia. I'm
I'm Lisa
Just
Lacasse,
joining
this is
her.
Joe.
And your address is
102
obviously.
Genevieve Lane, sorry, Marshfield.
Thank you. Go ahead.
first time's a charm. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
The door that's leading from the existing house onto the deck is on the side, and the way we have it proposed would basically add those the deck to where the setback is right now. So that's why we're proposing for it to be the 6 feet instead of the 7.5.
Any questions, Andrew or Bob?
Just it's a variance, the plot plan really not reliable for the dimensional setbacks. So we're probably gonna need a regular plan as a condition.
Okay. Questions from the board?
No, I'm sorry, you were saying you wanted to change the doorway, is that was the issue?
Yeah. Onto that new door, that
So
existing
there's an
window.
existing patio that goes, you're looking at the back of the house here. There's an existing patio which is on the right side, as you can see from the back. That ends at the edge of the house.
He's bringing,
That patio ends at the end of the house. So in order for you to walk to the deck from the patio, that's what basically the variance what we're asking for, is to put that square in so that you can walk from the patio onto, and we're resurfacing the patio with decking as well, but so that you can walk from the side to the deck.
Right up.
Into that.
Can you make sure you speak into the microphone, please, so that the
Oh,
shape
sure.
of the podium, just so
sure, I'll
everybody
stand.
online.
oh,
Thank you.
So, what are we granting here, variance?
So, my question then, I'll have to see the picture here, but if you're asking for 2 feet or 1.5 feet into the lot line for a variance, for the side deck, not the back deck, why does that side deck need to be that wide? It
If
needs
you
to
could-
be about 10 feet wide.
If you can look at that picture right there, we're not asking to encroach any closer to the side yard. What we're asking is to go back so that we can connect the patio to the deck.
So where's the variance? Where's the violation of the
can I
setback?
show you this?
You had the
Can I show
floor
you?
plan
Yep,
on
yes.
it.
It doesn't. So the door is here, the door is here,
Yeah,
and just 1 foot here, so if we couldn't have this spot, that, this is the 1 foot we're asking for, is right here.
right, so why does that whole, why not just make that,
Yeah, it is, well, it is. The door is here,
right, so it looks like, that's a 10-foot wide deck?
it's already there, yeah.
So why not make it 8.5 feet wide and not need a variance?
Oh, the variance is right here.
This is
it.
existing.
This is existing, the variance is just this one right here.
They're
This
just
1
looking for
foot
that.
right here,
That piece up there.
Okay,
just one little, that
Yeah.
one little foot.
So
This is already here.
you're trying to square it
Square it
off.
off, I just
trying to
want to
square it
square it
off.
off, that's it, so, exactly, thank you.
Is the existing drawings not in there? Not in the ones?
We don't have is the site plan in here? Is there any?
It's
I
not
see
a-
the site plan.
it's not a site plan, it's a mortgage inspection plan.
Right.
I mean, if I can show you on the picture. This is the existing patio, right? We're resurfacing that as part of it.
So you're just looking to drag that,
Just
square it off the corner of the house?
That's
There's
all it
also,
is.
the deck's gonna come in from here. And there's no way to, the patio ends at the edge of the house. So what we're trying to do is, we're just trying to go back to the houses. So there's a way to get onto the deck from the patio.
So even with all these structures there, Balada doesn't take place here? No?
It's a new dimension motion.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So I need you to explain to me how you meet the criteria for a variance.
In what sense?
Well,
For,
there's 4 or 5 things that you have to meet.
There's 5 pieces of criteria.
Right, 5 pieces of criteria that you have to meet to get a variance. So could you explain to me how you meet each one of them?
Do they have that in the answer, Andrew?
I thought there was a
yeah. Well, I filled out I'm sorry, you guys, I filled this out over a month ago, so I've moved this weekend and I'm kind of sick, but
So if you want, Steve, do you want to walk through 1 through 5?
yeah.
Just tell me how you meet number 1.
Oh,
the size and the layout of the lot, along with the location of the existing house, limit where a deck can be placed. These conditions affect the property more than others in the neighborhood and make it difficult to meet the required setback. That's what I have for answer number 1.
So how do you meet that?
It's pretty,
Well, it's 1.5 feet that we're asking to square off on the existing deck.
now, in the phrase of the old Brian, would it be a de minimis?
Yes,
variance?
it would be.
Bob?
Brian Sullivan and I used to disagree about de minimis.
Bob doesn't agree with it, but Brian did.
I mean, they clearly have a very unique lot there. not like they're doing anything different.
I mean, there does appear to be something topographic there in a change in elevation.
It's different than the adjoining lots.
Are you asking if there's a change in elevation there? It drops off.
Variance is a very specific thing that you have to.
You have to
specific
connect the
criteria.
reason to deviate from the bylaw to a soil, shape, or topographic condition. And I think that's what Mr. Lynch is asking to help him with.
Well, if the bylaw strictly applied, would there be able to be like a usable deck to be constructed?
So the issue is that you want to build a deck.
Right.
You don't need to build a deck. And so because you want to build a deck and therefore want to square it off, you need to have a variance against an existing regulation.
Okay.
And variances are really hard to come by.
Yep.
So they have to fit very specific criteria. One criteria that I've been participant in the last 2 years is if it's of a de minimis nature, which in the past, when we have granted variances of a de minimis nature, they have been inches, not feet.
Okay.
Well, I think we should codify it then. If we're gonna do de minimis variances, then we need to put it into the town bylaws.
I agree with what you're saying.
But that doesn't help the applicant at this moment.
You know, de minimis does come into play when you talk about is it going to substantially derogate from the spirit or intent of the bylaw, but it has nothing to do with the first criteria, and that is what is the soil, shape, or topography condition that results in you needing to deviate from the bylaw. That's,
Go back.
So the way I read this is that because it drops, the topography drops pretty significantly from what I can see from the back here, that the only way to easily access that deck, particularly to somebody who might be handicapped access, is not to make it go down steps and then kind of come back up steps. So to me, that fits.
Well, that would be impossible for someone who had a handicap to do that.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so number 2,
I mean, go back to the shape of the lot in itself. Just look at
Yeah.
the shape of the lot. That's not a unique shape.
well, Laura, yeah, I mean, I think we agree with the shape. Oh, well, we'll see how everyone feels. So number 2, that the literal enforcement of the provisions of the
So can I
zoning
just-
bylaw would
Brian.
involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the undersigned for the following
Brian, can I just ask Bob one more question,
Sure.
please? So, does...
Steve, can I just, oh, okay.
Go ahead.
No, we're even.
Okay, we... So, Bob, tell me, does the shape of that lot qualify for number 1 just because it's shaped like that?
No.
No, doesn't.
Okay, so go ahead with number 2.
Well, that's what I was saying. If the bylaw is strictly applied, a usable deck would not be able to be built. And it's 4 feet off the ground. So I know it has to be 7.5 feet from the left side, which is what we're proposing for the corner to be placed. So it's not going to be compliant if we build it the way you guys are saying in the bylaws. So I guess this is the issue we're having with trying to get the variance for it and make it up to code.
And I don't know if this is something that should have been added later, but this gentleman referred to, I mean, I'm 63, I'd like to be able to access this deck later in my life when I can, just because I don't know how well I'll be able to walk down the road, but to have to make a trek all the way around the back of the house and then go back up a set of stairs might not be viable
Feasible, all right.
at that point.
So does the board have questions on this answer?
Can I,
Go ahead.
I just wanted to just clarify a couple of things. So like, the width of the deck that they're proposing is not like to code, all right? That's not a code requirement. You have access to this and you could just extend that and go this. Now, I want to just clarify, because there was something different when you pointed out, you said that the deck was only going to come to this point, but the plans show the deck coming all the way up to the front of the building. So is the deck replacing the entire patio and then extending over where the stairs went and then coming back into the building?
The deck is just covering the patio. It's not going any further, except towards the back so that we could have the access to the back part of the deck.
Okay.
Andrew, is there any
These
way you-
the plans, the site plan and the building plans both show the deck going all the way up beyond the front of the existing house. And having a 10-foot 6 side on the side there,
That's,
which is why I was wondering, you know, with that, you know.
are you talking about this piece?
In the front, right where your finger is
Yeah.
there, that 2 feet there, that's,
Oh, this, it's not going beyond the front of the house. I mean,
It's just the way it was correctly drawn.
I think it's a step. I think it's a step, the deck, I think it's a step up.
So my question is, so if it's, is it just for when the patio starts, and that's where you're starting the deck, where the stairs are, in the back?
So if you guys want to vote
Because we're
yes,
covering the
I'm
patio,
all,
we're gonna need
listen,
to
I
have
want
a
to
step.
let you do it,
Patio
but I'm
ends
not
right
going to
there.
vote illegally.
So
All
it's-
right.
it probably extends 2
Okay?
feet.
So we need to
towards the
change
front of
the
the house.
rules. That's what we need to do.
So the deck is the way that it's shown on the plans, where it's gonna go all the way past the front of the house?
Probably 2 feet, the same length that the patio.
Andrew, are we gonna need a site plan for the,
Well, so that's
That doesn't
that's
qualify.
kind of why I put it in my,
That doesn't qualify.
we're gonna need a site plan for your permit anyways, right?
Every other one around it.
we haven't,
Andrew?
I'm just, are we gonna have conversation, or you want?
No, I'm talking to you, I don't know what Steve.
So, that's why I wrote in my comments that it's up to you guys, you know, I didn't accept these applications for this hearing, right? I would not have accepted this site plan, you know, for a variance.
So either way.
Because you
whatever
should be
happens
showing
there-
topography.
Yeah, we need a site
You
plan.
should be showing the actual setbacks, you know, they should be showing the proposed height of the deck, just to
What?
show that it is gonna be more than 4 feet off the ground.
Right, we need to see
In
this
this case, I think the
information.
topography would help.
Would help
To
the
help
applicant.
the
So
applicant.
I'm gonna, how long do you think it'll take you to get a site plan for us?
I mean, like a new, it
Yeah, we
depends on, I usually use Outback engineers and they take a long time to respond for,
So
So
how
I-
long do you want? We're gonna, because we're gonna continue your this hearing. We need a site plan.
okay.
Yeah, you have 100
A
days
month.
to make the decision, so you can continue it, you know, for,
you'd need an extension.
you know,
Yeah, till we need an extension, right?
yep.
All right, so what do we have in March?
We have the 10th of March and the 24th of March.
So Bob, the 24th, are we safe? That's from date of application though, right?
Yeah, the application was dated December 15th. I don't know the exact filing date, but I assume it was pretty close to that, so, June, March, that's 90. You have through the 24th
Of this month?
of March.
Of March, so we'll
To
do
make a
March
decision.
10th. All right, so we're gonna give you, March 10th, do you think you can, you said there's a site plan here somewhere, right? No? Dated 2017, am I reading?
There is a site plan, but it's their,
Yeah, that's a-
it's
that's a
their
mortgage.
original mortgage inspection plan.
It's this plan here, it's
Yeah,
this
that's no
site,
good.
this mortgage inspection plan from 2017.
All right, so we're gonna have you get a stamped PLS plan. I'm gonna give you to March 10th. Sound like you can do that. If not, we can still continue it. You'll just have to agree to it. All right?
Okay.
And
No, Sure, go ahead.
If we build a deck with.
With an
without-
angle on it that works, that you don't
Yeah.
go into the setback, you're fine. That's what
Okay.
I was thinking myself,
Yeah,
is
that's
you
what I
don't,
was thinking.
yeah, I
So we
was,
could cover this and do this and just not have that little
And just
square.
not-
yes, you could just
Because then it'll-
do whatever an angle it takes to build the shape to that,
Yeah.
and it would work.
Okay.
Right.
I just want to give them an explanation if I could.
Go ahead.
So I don't see any harm in you building it the way it is. It's fine by me, other than it's illegal.
Well, in
And
your
so
eyes.
it's a slippery slope. I can't start voting for variances that I know don't qualify for a variance. I'm completely happy with you building that, but I can't start doing that.
Well, I didn't know variances, I mean, I didn't know they were that difficult.
They are, but So it's up to you. If we'll continue this to the 10th, you can also explore working with Andrew.
Yeah, I
To see
think
what
it
kind
would
of a
be
shape of a deck he can come up with that works.
It wouldn't
Good to
require
call-
variance.
Call my office tomorrow.
Meet with
and
him,
set up-
so,
I have
but
it
for
on.
now,
Appointment
Yeah,
with me.
that's fine.
for
and
now,
then we
we'll
can go
continue to
over-
March. So,
that's fine.
all right, so I'm
We
gonna
can
move that the
decide.
board continue
Yeah.
this to March 10th,
Same time?
2608, yeah, 2608 Joseph and Lisa Lacasse, 102 Genevieve Lane. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Larry Keating, aye.
Stephen, sorry.
Robert Hensy, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so. All right, number 7, where does he have me? All right. 2601, William and Denise Friedebourne.
Hey, that's really good.
I did a good job, see that? Did something right. The petitioners are seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-1012 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to raise the existing structure and construct a new 28-foot by 35-foot dwelling with an 8-foot by 28-foot front porch and a 12-foot by 28-foot rear deck on the property located at 52 Gilbert Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on J130206 and is located in the R3 zoning district. Go ahead.
Bill Friedebourne, 52 Gilbert Street. So, the existing dwelling is in a non-conforming lot, and we are currently 11 feet on each side for our setback, and we're proposing to knock it down and build a 28 by 35 with a 12-foot rear deck and an 8-foot front deck, and keeping the existing 11-foot setbacks. And will be 15-foot setback in the front and 30-foot setback in the rear, when all is said and done.
So, Andrew, do you have
Yeah.
anything other than you know?
I've worked closely with Bill here on this one and met several times, and they are knocking down the non-compliant house and building a brand-new one, compliant with the flood zone and everything else, and it's an alteration and extension of the existing nonconformities, and utilizing that to raise and rebuild. Pretty
I have one quick question for you, if you
Sure.
don't mind.
Yeah.
I have been confused on the finished first floor. I know I sat down and talked with you once, and I thought you told me it was going to be 14 plus 2, and Phil is telling me it's 12 plus 2.
It's in AE9.
Correct.
So it's,
Front-
it's 9 feet plus 2.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so your first floor has to be at elevation 11. Now, if it's in a barrier beach and a coastal dune, then it's up to the Conservation Commission. They could tell you it needs to be 10 feet high. But by the building code and FEMA, by building code, yeah, it would only have to be.
Because the
at
front of the house
elevation
is not in the flood zone, it's
It's the
from the
rear.
rear to the back.
Yep, but if
And-
any part of a house is in a flood zone,
Yeah, yeah.
the whole house is considered in it, yep.
So is it 12 plus 2 or 14 plus 2?
It's 11 total, like, and because your elevation 9 is the flood zone, and you have to be 2 feet above that. So that's it. It's at elevation 11 is where you have to be, so just 2 feet off the ground in this location. Like I said, unless the Conservation Commission makes you go higher.
So in the front of the house, currently at 10-foot elevation, then that would be 10 plus 2, which is the 12.
At the front of the house, you're actually 10.5, right at the front corner,
Correct.
right
Yep.
there. So you would only have to be a half a foot raised up off of the ground there for your first floor. That's correct, but I think if you're in that coastal dune area, which are
we are.
barrier beach, then that changes everything, because you have to be on pilings.
Oh, yeah,
The Conservation Commission will probably make you be a minimum of 2 feet off the ground to the bottom of the lowest horizontal structural member, which is probably why it's pushing you, why your designer is telling you, or whoever's telling you.
12 plus
Yep,
2, yep.
Yeah, be up there, yep.
If I went 14 2, would that be any issue? I mean, just because sea levels are rising. And while I'm an old guy at 73, I might not be here for it when it gets
Well,
too much, but
at the,
maybe my kids will want to,
the
not be
further up
snowed
you
to
go, it's gonna affect the building height, the overall building height. And you're
Oh, okay.
maxed out right now at 33.9, so you really only have about a foot to play with off of
Okay,
what we've already planned out here, which was the top of floor being about,
Yeah.
4.5 feet off the ground.
then I will trust in Phil Baker that he's the man
Yep,
in charge,
and ultimately, yeah.
not my faulty memory.
He's erring on the side of caution of having to deal with what they're gonna require for barrier beach construction with the Conservation Commission.
Excellent, thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
You have not gone to the Conservation Commission yet?
I actually started that process and then realized that it was really too complex. So I farmed that out to Steinbeck and Taylor. And they are in the process of continuing. I had put the application in for the floodplain permit, and they are taking over, and they will bring that to fruition. I'm
They're going to
sure.
handle the Concom.
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to.
Mass general law actually requires that they get zoning, any obtainable special permits or variances first before the notice of intent.
Doesn't that answer your question? Answer your question.
Yes.
All right, any questions from the board? No. Questions from the audience? Seeing that there's none, I'm going to move to close 2601 William and Denise Friedborn, 52 Gilbert Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lanzoni.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
I move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application. Hold on. For a special permit subject to the conditions. Final as-built site plan should document these conditions post-construction. If approved, this project will require compliance with the floodplain bylaw, demolition permit, building permit, final as-built, and certificate of occupancy. Andrew, did you need the other information in there, the building area and that stuff? Or you'll handle that on the building permit? The notes you have in there?
You said you're working with Stembeck and Taylor on, yeah, and they have a shed in the back too. Is the shed staying, or is that,
I'm sorry?
is the shed's gonna stay in the rear?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, we won't endorse the shed,
yeah. And then,
so that's in the conditions,
You're-
speaking.
you said Stembeck and Taylor is working with the Conservation Commission?
Correct,
And so they're putting together a site plan for that?
correct.
Okay, that plan will have impervious coverage.
The stuff you need.
And I'll be able to figure out the rest of it from there.
All right, good. Based on the finding that the applicant's proposal to raise the existing structure and construct a 28-foot by 35-foot dwelling and an 8-foot by 28-foot porch and a 12-foot by 28-foot rear deck on the property located at 52 Gilbert Street off of Standish Street in Wrexham, Massachusetts, as shown on the plan of 52 Gilbert Street, Marshfield, Mass., dated August 21st, 2025, by Land Survey LLC, Michael P. McGuire, PLS, and on progress set of plans by Rockwood Design, Dick Rockwood, dated October 14th, 2025, 12 pages, meets the special permit criteria of 1012 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lanzoni.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's-
All right, so, 7. Number 8, Sean McLeod.
So, Brian, Jeff DeLisi here on behalf of Mr. McLeod. I'm here also with,
Okay. The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-902, 305-1012 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to raise existing structure, construct a new 35-foot by 33-foot dwelling with an 8-foot by 35-foot deck on the property located at 1339 Ferry Street, which is further identified on assessors maps, being on I-16, 1306, and located in the R3 zoning district. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Again, for the record, Attorney Jeff DeLisi on behalf of Mr. McLeod. I'm here also with Paul Seberg of Grady Consulting. You guys have on your screen a proposed condition on the right and an existing condition on the left. One thing that you can see from that is that the proposed building, which is a single-family dwelling, is located mostly in the exact same footprint that it currently is located. What we're proposing to do, this is a pre-existing non-conforming lot, meaning lot area, lot frontage, lot depth. So it's a small lot, and there's an existing dwelling. We're going to rebuild the dwelling. The front yard setback is compliant. The only non-conformity presently is the rear setback, which is just inches away from compliance at 29.3 feet. And the side yard setback on the left side of the property, which is the south, is 9.3 feet in a 15-foot zone. Essentially, what we're doing is we're going to pull the building a little further back from that property line, so we're going to make the southerly non-conforming less non-conforming, and we're going to make the rear yard conformity less non-conforming by bringing it slightly further away from the rear property line. The height of the building will be 34 feet, measured from the average grade to the mean level of the sloped roof, and the building coverage is actually going to reduce slightly, but otherwise everything, we're going from a 4-bedroom dwelling to a 4-bedroom dwelling, so we're not increasing parking needs or anything along those lines. Give it up to the board, and of course, Paul is here to answer any questions for you.
Andrew, anything, Bob? Nothing than what you've given us? Anything from the board? Anything from the audience? Seeing that there's none, I'm going to move that we close 2602 Sean McLeod, 1339 Ferry Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
I move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit subject to the conditions. This project will require a demolition permit, a building permit, a final as-built, and a certificate of occupancy. Based on the finding that the applicant's proposal to raise the existing structure and construct a new 35-foot by 33-foot dwelling with an 8-foot by 35-foot deck on the property located at 1339 Ferry Street, as shown on a set of floor plans and renderings by EMBR Architects dated August 7th, 2025. 5 pages, site plan, and site plan 1339 Ferry Street, Marshfield, Mass. Dated November 10th, 2025 by Grady Consulting LLC, Timothy Bennett, PLS, and Kevin Grady, PE, meets the special permit criteria of section 1012 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so now we're on to D, 2604, Craig and Sheila Garland. Are they here?
I'm here on behalf of them, Paul Seberg from Grady Consulting.
The petitioner is seeking a variance in accordance with 305, 1011, and relief from 305, 610, and a special permit in accordance with 305, 1010, and 305, 1302C, 1 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 273-foot by 4-foot dock with a 8-foot by 12-foot swim platform on the property located at 121 Grandview Ave, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel H170102, is located in the R3 zoning district and the coastal wetland district. And are you aware of the note or letter, email from Mike DeMail?
Regarding that he sent to conservation?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of
Okay.
it, yeah.
All right.
Unless there's been a second one. I was aware of the first one.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So we're here tonight on behalf of the owner, Craig Garland, for the special permit request and variance request for the proposed dock at 121 Grandview Avenue. This property is located within the R3 zoning district and coastal wetlands district. Currently consists of a single-family dwelling. The property boundaries extend over the salt marsh to Little Creek. The applicant is proposing to construct a 273-foot long by 4-foot wide dock with an 8-foot by 12-foot swim platform to access Little Creek for recreational activities. As required for all dock projects, the applicant is requesting a variance in accordance with 305-1011 for relief of the dimensional requirements of 305-610, and a special permit in accordance with 305-1010 and 13.02C1 Coastal Wetlands District. A pier or dock is a permitted use within the Coastal Wetlands District, subject to a special permit from the board in accordance with 305-1010. The proposed use of the dock is a common use in the coastal community, and other docks exist in close proximity to Little Creek and along the South River as well. The design is consistent with other docks and therefore will not be any more detrimental to the neighborhood or district. Due to the topography of the land, salt marsh, coastline, in order to access the water, the project must extend through the rear boundary lines, which is, we understand needs relief from section 610 dimensional setback requirements. Due to the topography of the tidal flats and salt marsh, the docks being between mean high water and mean low water, elevated dock structure is required in order to access the water itself. That's, I'd be happy to turn it over to questions from the board.
Andrew or Bob, do you have anything to add to this before we start? No?
No, I mean, this is the circumstance we face all the time
I
with
agree.
docks.
Obviously.
Where they
one of-
extend beyond the property line, they gotta get a chapter 91 waterways license.
Of course, we're one of 3 communities on the entire east coast of Massachusetts that requires a variance for the rear lot line, because we do not have a bylaw that suffices, just so everyone's aware.
You ready for me?
Go.
So, Bob, I need a real good explanation of this low, mean, high tide line. So, has anyone done a title search, if this even matters, to whether or not the rights to low tide have been severed to this property?
We wouldn't do that. I could not answer that question.
So then we must assume that they own to low tide then, because that's the standard in Massachusetts SJC, that the upland property owner owns to the low tide mark, correct?
Not necessarily. If your deed is bounded by the water, then the answer is you own to the low water mark, subject to the colonial ordinances. If your deed is not bound by the, what they call a littoral boundary line, then you don't own to the low water mark.
And this deed just says they're bounded by Little Creek.
For instance, the property that I own in Saquich, right? So I was digging clams on my property, got arrested for digging clams on my own property. We went to court. I sued the town of Plymouth, said that I own to low tide and the clams are on my property and I own them. The judge agreed that I own to low tide because it doesn't need to be, as long as my rights weren't severed somewhere in some title from 1620, then it's assumed that I own to low tide. He did say that the clams in the property were a natural resource and I had no right to take them without a permit. But he did say that that's where I believe that the upland owner owns to the low tide mark, whether it's in his deed or not.
I disagree.
I know you do. We've had this conversation before.
But I don't disagree if your land is bound by the ocean, you generally run to the low tide, low water mark, yes.
So how is this affecting the setback? If he does own to low tide, we don't have a problem with the setback?
Yes.
That's true?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't need a variance, right?
So let's just assume that he
No,
owns to
no,
low tide,
Steve
unless
is-
someone says he
Steve is-
doesn't.
Let me just explain something, because I don't think Brian understood the nuance there.
Okay.
Maybe he did, but,
Let's assume I didn't.
okay, you did. Steve's contention is that if you own to the low water mark, you don't need a variance. Is that right, Steve?
Correct.
Yes.
Because it doesn't
That's
cross
how I
the
see it.
boundary.
Because it's not crossing a boundary.
Right.
Right.
That's how I see it.
We have not done the title research to be able to conclude that.
But somebody did, right?
Well, I don't know that anybody's done that.
I think Steve did.
Well, we have to assume that they own to low tide,
I agree
unless someone
with
can
you.
prove that they don't.
So they may not need the variance could be moved.
I don't think they need a variance, right?
I agree with you.
How close are they out to the low tide mark? How close are they?
No, they're there. Show that, Andrew, can you pull up the
they're still
plan?
That's,
encroaching on the real lot
I
line.
just,
No, if you look at the
I'm just
plan.
gonna bring up the deed, right? So it's bounded right here,
By Little Creek.
northwesterly by Little
Goes up,
Creek.
the tide goes out. On my
Right.
property, it goes up
And that's
700
the,
feet.
and that is the plan from, whenever it was
So,
constructed, the lot, the whole development. And so it's not as accurate as, a plan like this. And so it doesn't really show exactly where Little Creek is, but.
but on their
I mean,
deed,
you can
it
ask
shows
Paul
them going to the
Peacock, 'cause
low
we
tide.
discussed this a little bit over email.
Yeah. I agree with
I
Steve.
don't think we need a variance.
I don't think you do either.
We've always requested one on every dock project, which is why we did,
Well, just in Marshfield, due to the humiliation of ourselves. Being 1 in 3 on the east coast.
This deed does say by Little's Creek on the northwesterly side, and if that's the boundary, then I agree with Steve Lynch.
It says
I do
Little
too.
Creek, which is.
I don't think they need a
Which
variance.
is literal.
Is that what you're arguing here, Steve?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Little's Creek is title at that location,
One
so.
anyway, so.
Well, I mean, we're stuck with them because of we being the 1 in 3,
Yeah, see the straight line.
the shame.
Bob agrees with Steve. Stop
Yeah, I'm good. Listen, Andrew said the same thing.
That's not what
in
Bob
his
said
note.
exactly. He said, in the particular instance, he would
I
agree.
told him he didn't need to apply for
Yeah,
a variance.
all right, so we're gonna leave the variance at moot, so go ahead,
So
and all we need is a special
you
permit.
deny the variance as being moot,
Yes, we will,
Okay.
then you just stay with your special permit.
right. So, any other questions on the special permit? No?
No.
I don't have any. All right, so, you coming to speak? Adam?
Chairman, good evening. My name is Adam Brodsky. I'm working with the Garlands on their wetlands matter. If I might suggest, there's no need for a variance, that the applicant make a request to withdraw the
Without
request for a
prejudice?
variance, as opposed to a denial
Okay,
for mootness,
All
and
right.
then move forward on the special permit.
thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
I assumed you did the work on this, so that I agree with Steve. And you've proved this to be 4 on Ferry Street to us.
I have not looked at that issue for this project.
No, okay, but
Chairman.
you did do this one, you
I have
educated
done, I have
us.
done various peer projects.
Yeah, you educated us pretty well on the Ferry Street one.
Yes, sir,
How
that-
far that thing went out was very interesting, the way you
It
broke that
was.
down.
Thank you.
All right, so we just dealing with the special permit now as they're
So
withdrawn?
actually, you should take a motion to allow them to withdraw without prejudice on the variance request.
When we get there, right?
Right.
Okay. So any questions on the special permit? Seeing if there's none, the audience out there? Okay, seeing that there's none, I move that we close 2604 Craig and Sheila Garland, 121 Grandview Ave. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Steve Lynch, aye.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye?
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
All right, now I'm gonna move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions. This project is currently awaiting a conservation approval. If approved, the project will require compliance with the floodplain bylaw, a building permit, and a final as-built site plan.
Do we want to add the
Dock.
dock,
Cleanliness.
detritus?
The what?
If the dock breaks, they clean it up?
Oh, Andrew, yeah, okay, so if the dock pier sustains damage of any kind, the owner shall notify the building commission, floodplain administrator, and shall be responsible for the repair of the structure and the cleanup and disposal of any debris resulting from damage.
Now, has this been becoming an issue, Andrew? Is that why that's come up?
Yeah.
It's just protective language.
So if I'll, just real quick, everything on this, on that thing that's a marker is.
Our projectile.
Is mostly damage from a dock or debris from a dock that was damaged in the storms of 2018.
Just that alone, so.
So it's a little pet project I've been working on.
Yes. Bobby.
But these are all, and a lot of the debris is still kind of out there in the.
Floating around.
In the marsh.
It's still in the marsh.
It's still just kind of hanging out there.
Doing its thing.
Pieces of docks that have just floating out there and still hanging out.
We haven't had that tide since
Years later.
2018, thank God. So, applications, applicants
And it-
proposed. You gonna go on?
It's just big chunks too, that are just sitting
Yeah,
out there.
I know, you got it all color coded. Have Steve's, we should set up a meeting for that, add it to one. Applicant's proposal to a 273-foot by 4-foot dock and 8-foot by 12-foot swim platform on the property located at 121 Grandview Avenue. As shown on the site plan, 121 Grandview Ave, Marshfield, Mass, dated December 1st, 2025, by Grady Consulting LLC, Darren Grady, P.E., Timothy Bennett, PLS, 2 pages, meets the special permit criteria, section 1010 and 1302, C1 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Stephen Lachai.
Robert has the eye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
All right, so on the variance, we're going to move that that the applicant has agreed to withdraw without prejudice. That's
Yeah,
it?
take the motion on that
Yeah,
first.
that's what I'm doing. So,
Second.
all in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Stephen Lachai.
Robert has the eye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
All right, so now we're on to number 10. Oh, okay. So we have 2568 South Shore Habitat for Humanity, 1929 Main Street, and 2568A South Shore Habitat for Humanity, 1929 Main Street. They've already been read into the record, right?
The 2068A is a new public hearing. The other one was already ongoing.
All right, so 26A, the petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-902, 305-1012 in the Marshfield Municipal Code to raise the existing structure and construct a new 26-foot by 32-foot dwelling on the property located at 1929 Main Street, which is further identified on the map. Assessor's maps as being on D18-0205, located in the R1 zoning district and the inland wetlands district. Go ahead.
So my name is Rob Carlazon. I'm from Grady Consulting. So we were here with you guys about 2 months ago. And we are here for a special permit for a raise and rebuild of a pre-existing non-conforming structure and lot. And as we described at the previous hearing, there's an existing dwelling on the property. We're going to be tearing it down and constructing a new 3-bedroom dwelling. All of the property line setbacks will be less non-conforming. Make sure I get that right. We'll be altering the driveway, making it safer to enter and exit the property. As part of the project, we're proposing a new septic system, septic tank, D-box, and a pipe and stone leaching field. As it was pointed out at the previous hearing, we are also within the inland wetland district. So this work, or any alteration in that district would require a special permit. So we submitted a special permit application in accordance with that district. All the work, there's a little little finger of wetlands in the, kind of the panhandle of the lot. All of the work is outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. And, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that.
All right. And anything, Andrew or Bob?
There's some mandatory conditions. I think it's probably gonna happen anyways. It has to be served by public water supply. The on-site septic system has to comply with the bylaw requirements, which I think it does. Can't get a CO until Andrew gets a plan showing all of the as-built stuff. And then there's an optional condition if you want, that would require them to give notice to all prospective purchasers of the past flooding of the premises. That's an optional condition.
Okay. Anything from the board?
For clarification, this is the property that the town just recently purchased, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Now, with that, this is gonna be a deed-restricted affordable home, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I'm Paris Ballinger, South Shore Habitat for Humanity, Norwell.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
it'll be
you said-
deed restricted.
Okay, now, who would be qualified for applying to purchase this home?
So this, the way it's, the oversight of EOHLC from the state that oversees the affordable housing, because it's one unit, it'll be an open pool lottery, so it would be 80% area median income. So based on HUD income limits and requirements, would be able to apply.
The reason I'm saying is where this is Marshfield, and Marshfield taxpayers just purchased this property, would Marshfield resident have a preference or a, move up the rank, if you will?
Look, yeah,
Ability?
unfortunately, local preference applies when it's, applies to 70% of more than one unit, so it'd have to be more than one unit. So in this case, if it was two homes, one of the homes could be local, specified exclusively for local preference. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make that work, working with planning because of the perk testing on this property. It just, the way it worked, we had to put in an oversized septic system.
Yeah, there was an extensive amount of,
Yeah.
of engineering that the previous applicant put into this project. But the point I'm making,
Yep.
to me, the town of Marshfield, the taxpayers of this town purchased this property. And my feeling on it is that a person from Marshfield, a resident of Marshfield, and there are many, should have preference to getting this. So there's two people that qualify for the specific application, and one is a Marshfield resident, one is from somewhere else.
No, I
It's
understand.
disappointing that they don't have preference to it.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's oversight and compliance to state law, the way that the governance over it. So we don't really have any say how they,
No,
the oversight on the lottery, but I certainly understand
Yeah.
why you would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they funding the building?
I'm sorry?
Who's paying to build this thing, the state?
Habitat.
Habitat.
I know, but where do you get your money?
So we get in-kind donations, we get funding and support. We also get work with town CPCs, and there's.
So the town of Marshfield CPC fund is paying for this?
But it's on the warrant, yes. It's on the warrant. No, it's not paying for the entire thing. It's on the warrant for
So
certain.
Bob, can we make our own restriction that it has to go to a Marshfield resident?
No, it's against state law. Needs to be a two, so if this was a condominium,
So when this land was acquired, this was one part of it, and then there was a very large other part. We bought it principally for open space and conservation land. And this extra land was left because there was a house there. And the idea when it was purchased was that this would be, become an affordable unit, one affordable unit.
one.
Which is a good idea, but Marshfield
The
taxpayers.
problem is, they're right.
Mhm.
We can't require it to be
Yep.
for Marshfield resident because it's just one
Absolutely.
unit.
It's against the law.
Property.
I get it, but it's also now on record that people that are watching this meeting, it's not gonna be a Marshfield resident, which to me is extremely disappointing that.
They get advertised broadly.
Yeah, we paid for it, the town of Marshfield was paying for it.
Well, we're
Just
paying
said
for the
CPA
construction as well, so.
I'm
Right.
sorry, yeah, CPA funds that are
Yeah.
our tax money is going to it, and it could be somebody from from wherever getting it.
Anywhere.
That's not fair, it's not right.
No, that's a raw deal for us.
Yep.
So what happens, Bob, with, so this goes to whoever buys it who qualifies, right?
They go on a lottery.
It goes to a lottery.
And so what happens if they decide they want to sublease it? Is there some restriction on them?
Yes.
You can't.
There is?
Oh, yeah.
It's not allowed.
Yeah.
And if they sell it, they have to sell it for market value or
No, they have to sell for
What they
restricted
paid.
value.
restricted value?
Yeah, it'll remain perpetually.
'Cause it's in the deed.
forever.
Yeah, it's deed restricted.
It's deed restricted.
They have to follow the Habitat for
And they have
Humanity
to occupy
laws.
it.
Yep.
So what ballpark, what is the price tag on what this house you're building gonna be worth? How much money from the CPC are we giving you to build this?
Well, they voted to give us $250,000.
And we bought it, too.
And that goes to
Right.
the town on the warrant. The cost to build this is roughly, I think our budget is $587,000. And we do in-kind donations, we raise supports, we get grants.
But we're paying the lion's share of it, and
We're
so,
paying 50% of, after purchasing the property, we're paying
Right.
ballpark 50% of the
and,
cost.
and what's the assessed value gonna be of this property? Is it gonna be reduced assessed value on the tax rolls?
The assessed value will be at the reduced affordable rate, and they'll be paying taxes at the affordable rate.
This does not sound like a good deal for the residents of
So Steve, you
Marshfield.
scored, you got to pay for the land, you get to pay for half the building, and you potentially could get someone who doesn't live here to
Yeah.
get it.
Hope someone from Worcester likes the property.
They go on a lottery.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad I learned my lesson about this for the next town meeting when we have to
Well, you
vote on
voted for
CPC
this.
funds. I did not, no, I did not. But anyway.
All right, any other questions?
Just, do we vote yes on one and no on the other? Because we have two of them in front of us.
What do you mean?
We have 2568 and we have
It's a
2568A.
non-conforming structure, and it's.
In the inland wetland district, so you need to
That's
vote
what they had
yes
to add,
on
the inland
above.
wetland
Okay.
piece.
I thought they incorporated it in the second one. Okay.
Well, Bob, we don't
I
have a
think
choice,
both of
right? I mean, if it conforms to the
Well, it needs.
to the special
it
permit,
meets
you
the
have to vote
standard.
yes, right?
Yes. SJC decides.
It's discretionary, Steve, but the reality is if it meets the standards, it meets the standards.
Got it.
Any other questions? Nothing, the audience, anything? All right, I'm gonna move that we close 2568 South Shore Habitat for Humanity, 1929 Main Street, and 2568A South Shore Habitat for Humanity, 1929 Main Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
I can't vote for this.
Crowell's, yeah.
So you're a no?
I'll abstain to try to stay neutral.
No, so Gene, you can take the vote on this. Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
All right, so now I'm gonna move that I move that the board vote to grant the petition. So Bob, you wrote this in one answer. Does this cover both, or do I have to do two?
It does both.
All right, that's what I thought. I move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions. Andrew, what did you have in here? So demolition, there'll be a demolition permit, a building permit certified as built, and certificate of occupancy. Anything up?
The mandatory conditions
Man-
in the inland wetland district, and then you want the prospective purchaser to be told,
I'm adding everything you're saying, so go ahead.
well, that's the option.
All right,
That is,
See-
that the prospective purchaser has to be advised of.
any
that
flood,
flooding.
yeah, so, that all in there. Subject to those conditions, based on the finding that the applicant's proposal to raise the existing structure and construct a new 26-foot by 32-foot dwelling on the property located at 1929 Main Street is shown on a site plan dated October 30th, 2025, last revised December 16th, 2025, by Grady Consulting, LLC, Timothy Bennett, PLS, and Robert Carlzone, PE, meets the special permit criteria of section 1012 and 1301 of the bylaw. All right, do you have a second, all in
Second.
favor?
Larry Keane, no.
Grover?
Groveland's aye.
Brian Murphy, aye?
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If I knew you were gonna do that, Larry, I would have voted no with you.
You would have turned it down, Steve. Yeah.
They would have overturned the court, though.
Oh, they're here?
So I'm not gonna vote against something that I'm legally bound to vote for.
Yeah,
It's easier
just-
to abstain.
Yeah, it just would have
People
said.
outside of town are also not bad people and may need it as well. You know,
What?
There's people
Except
that,
they didn't pay for it, we
Yeah,
did.
Absolutely, but it
We're
just.
only paying for 50% and then all the land and
One's a Marshfield resident.
getting the sandwich involved.
I
pay
couldn't
for
agree
it.
more, I just,
Well,
You're
I
gonna
think
get a new
something
Marshfield.
we need to
You're
think
getting a new
about.
Marshfield resident.
exactly, it's,
Get a Marshfield resident. They're literally gonna buy a house, and they're gonna be a new
someone's gonna
Marshfield
get-
resident, so.
it's not
Yeah, I
just,
can
Just
tell
remember,
you,
we bought that land for the open
It's a
space.
balance.
The rest of it was
Marshall
tossing.
President got a duck's
Right,
very
But it is,
Just happened.
if it's being, I don't even know that it is, but if it's on the warrant, then you get to vote on that at town meeting.
Well, what we should have done is made it into a two-family, so then it would have, if we were smart.
Right,
It didn't perk.
right.
That's all faced it, if we were smart, Colin. All right, 2606 Kathleen Doyle, Personal Residence Trust. Petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-1302, C1 of the Marshfield Municipal Code for the existing pier, ramp, floats, and boat lift in the applicant's waterfront on the property located at 88 Marginal Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel M060501, located in the R3 zoning district and the coastal wetlands district. Who's here?
Yes, I am Mark Burgess with Shorefront Consulting. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep, go ahead.
Great. So I'm the project engineer, and I was tasked with getting a Chapter 91 license for the outer portion of the dock that was modified later on. The short backstory is that there's been a dock here since the 60s. It has a Army Corps permit that was issued in 1969, I believe. Been through all the permitting, and has a building permit for the outer section that was modified or added onto, and for some reason never received a special permit. So we're here as a matter of kind of cleanup to
Just get the special
get
permit.
the special permit, and then we get a zoning certificate that completes the Chapter 91 license application for this outer portion of the dock. And Stuart probably knows more about this property than I do, but that's all I have.
All right. So Andrew, this is basically just the cleanup and,
Yeah, basically the way it came across my desk was they needed my signature for the municipal zoning certificate, which I said I would not give because we didn't have a zoning permit for the dock. So I've been working with Mark to do this. He would have been here last time, but obviously, yeah, so this was the former building commissioner actually did issue a permit for it to be repaired and to put the boat lift, I think it's a lift there, in. And they went to conservation at the time, but they never went through the actual zoning process. So this is kind of to legitimize everything from a zoning perspective. But it has received building permits and it has gone through conservation. And it does have an existing, the original structure had the existing Chapter 91
It's already
license
there.
that they're extending.
oh, all right.
So we don't
Any-
need anything from Mike?
No.
No.
So anything from the audience or board?
It's a nice looking dock.
As long as we have the same, detritus conditions, if it breaks, they clean it.
Yeah, that's gonna go,
Other
that's
than
gonna
that,
be in our
fine.
statements from now on. Okay.
And the other reason it wasn't
So,
a variance is because it's a pre-existing
Yeah, it's
situation.
existing already on, it's already built.
So do we know that they own to where they got the dock on?
It's already built.
Can you
Doesn't matter.
It does.
If they own it.
It does matter. Bob, when was it built, Andrew?
68.
1968. That would be under legal non-conforming status, so.
This is the harbor. This is the main harbor where,
It's still legal.
you know, hundreds and hundreds of people use this harbor every
Port of
day.
entry into the United States.
Yeah, it's by the Green River.
So have we seen the deed? Do they own this land or what? Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have, okay.
yeah, there's a
That's what I
deed
wanna
there.
know.
It says northerly by and said Green Harbor River.
Any input from the harbor master?
And the town of Marshfield has no rights to
It's already there.
No, I know,
the
I just didn't know
adjacent
he had- knew it was coming.
tidal area in the main harbor?
Of course they do.
So, to where? How far up?
The public has rights between the mean and low watermark.
To pass and repass and to use it for.
Fish fouling and
fishing,
navigation.
Yeah.
So, would you like me to explain that law to you so that you fully understand it?
I litigated it for 13
I
days in the
understand.
land court, so I understand.
Well, when the law was written, right? Fish,
I
fowl, and navigate meant the intertidal zone when water was there, not when the land when low tide is there. That does not include that.
It includes the intertidal area, the area.
When there's
between
water
low
there.
and mean high water mark.
When there's water there, the public has the right to use, for instance, again, my property in Saquosh, I own out about 1,600 feet, right?
Can you at least tell us you were arrested again? I like that. That's the part I like.
So I own all the way out to low tide, right? When the law was written, it was meant that pilgrims and whoever could fish, fowl, and navigate in that area when there was water over that land, not when it was dry. And then the courts of Massachusetts just have changed it along the way, but that was not the intent of the law.
I wasn't around. I wouldn't know.
Back in 1620.
I'm just telling you, that was the intent of the law. Intertidal.
We could go walk
water
around.
was there.
All I can tell you is the way the courts
Yes,
interpreted
and-
it right now.
That's what he's telling us.
Well,
All right.
because it looks like it, when the tide goes out, the dock's on land. Whatever. I just making a point.
Well, thank you,
I
Steve.
think, I
You're
think we- I just
educating
want to make the point that we need to address this.
The state,
on docks.
the state addresses
On
this by
docks.
granting Chapter 91 waterways licenses.
I know, but technically, we're letting them build in the setback though, right?
It's already-
The state-
Technically.
The state,
So we need to change it so it's legal. We need to rewrite the zoning.
Listen, I agree with you. This is ridiculous that we need
It
variances.
is.
But with these
We have
people
to
don't
sneak
need a
around,
variance.
we have to sneak around the rule to let them do what we
but
want to
there are
let them
people
do.
that have been asking for docks that don't own to the low water mark.
And then we have to give them the variance, which I can't wait for you to have to do.
Well, you and I differ on this, Bob, you know that. I believe that everybody owns to the low tide mark.
Well, it depends.
Unless they have had their rights severed somewhere in a deed, and you do a title search and you prove it. We've gone over this, we differ on this, so.
We just have to fix
You
the
have to
bylaw
find
period,
a-
and then this ends.
You have to find a water boundary.
Right.
Some deeds are not bound by the water. Some are bound by the beach.
All I have to do is,
Old Wrexham.
yeah, I mean, just probably read one of the bylaws in the other 80 or 90 communities that allow.
Old Wrexham,
Other than the three.
The whole area of Old Wrexham was not bound by the Atlantic Ocean. It was bound by the beach, which was owned by the town.
We know that was a unique situation, you won that
Unique,
case.
you won that
That was
case.
unique, yep, because it was a cow pasture, and it was listed as a state highway or whatever, right? That was, but that's unique.
So,
That doesn't mean that all property in front of beach, houses on beaches is
I
owned.
think you'd have to take it on a case-by-case basis.
Right, absolutely, I agree.
All right, am I continuing on here?
Yep.
Please.
I move that the board vote to grant.
Close.
Oh, we didn't close?
No.
All right. Move to close, what number are we on? Now I'm-
2606.
2606 Kathleen Doyle, Personal Residence Trust, 88 Marginal Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Stephen, sorry.
Brian Murphy, aye?
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Okay, now I'm going to move that the board vote to grant the applicant's petitioner's application for a special permit, subject to the conditions. If the dock pier sustains damage of any kind, the owner shall notify the building commissioner, floodplain administrator, and shall be responsible for the repair of the structure and the cleanup of any disposal of any debris resulting from the damage. So this doesn't need it, does this need conservation approval, Andrew?
No,
They did that.
yeah, they've already gotten
I'm
conservation
just
approval.
being lazy and looking at the
Yep.
other one. Potential condition, if approved, so you can sign the municipal zoning certificate for the Chapter 91 license extension request there, Doc?
That's
We'll
it.
do
That,
it.
we
You just
essentially
need-
have an as-built.
Right.
They had a
You have
building
everything.
permit for it.
There you go.
Right.
Right.
They've
All
got
right.
conservation approval. They're gonna get an extension to their Chapter 91 license, so literally the only thing they need is the special
Is
permit.
that special
That's
permit.
it.
So, based on the finding that the applicant's proposal to permit the existing pier, ramp, floats, and boat lift on the applicant's waterfront on the property located at 88 Marginal Street as shown on the existing conditions plan dated January 22nd, 2024, for Sheets Shorefront Consulting, meets the special permit criteria of sections 1010 and 1302C1 of the bylaw. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Still one check.
Robin's aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
All right. So now we have,
Thank you, everyone, and thank you very much, Andrew. You've been a great help.
Thanks, Mark.
so now are we on to the Bruce matter? Did I miss something?
There's two left.
Did I do?
Jay and Bruce.
Oh, Jay, hold on, sorry, guys. Who's Matthew Skeldon? Oh, I gotta take him first, sorry. He's number 11. You guys are number question mark. 2610, Matthew Skeldon, the petitioner is seeking a variance in accordance with 305-1011 of the Marshfield Municipal Code, relief 306-607, to allow for an installed swimming pool to encroach 9 inches into the rear lot line on the property located at 9 Old Wood Lot Lane, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being parcel E090192 and is located in the R1 zoning district. Andrew, do we have an application for this?
I don't have. anything.
We don't have, did you make an application?
For this?
Yes.
Yeah. I submitted everything to Nancy.
We don't have an application.
I can't find any of your stuff.
Do you have anything with you?
I sent it and handed it all to her.
Did you keep a copy of what you
No.
with her?
Well, we're
I
gonna
can
need-
try to dig it in. I have emails and stuff from her too that,
Yeah, we're gonna need an application, so.
okay.
So-
I've searched her office for your application and your packet. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Okay.
And I was searching all the way up to the beginning.
It doesn't
before
mean
this
you didn't
meeting.
submit it, did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
No, I knew, well, Matt, I've been working with him on this project for a while, you know, and this, you know, this is obviously, he's here to resolve the situation, you know.
But we do need an
But we,
application.
yeah.
Can
So-
I be heard and then resubmit stuff?
Yeah.
And then.
All right, sure.
Because I know I
Bob
paid the
saying
checks.
yes.
I submitted all the checks I needed to do the paper, to do the abutters list, to do everything.
All right, so we can hear you.
Okay. Well, Matt Skeldon, 9 Old Woodlot Lane. I appreciate the time and thanks for the board. So, put a pool and worked with Andrew. Andrew, thank you for your help on really kind of creating, we have a kind of a unique property, very thin, very short from the back of the house to the back of our back property line. We had put a pool in accordance to the plan that was submitted and only discovered till after we had the as-built done that we were encroaching 9 inches on the rear lot line. So we are looking for a variance on that because it would be extreme financial hardship to actually make a change on that.
Have we seen stuff like this before? Any questions? Andrew, Bob?
The variance should also include the shed, because the shed's 9.5 as well.
All right.
Is the shed movable?
It's,
I
I
have,
think
it's
it's a
not,
pool cabana.
no.
It's not a shed, sorry, it's like a pool house, it's a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on footings that,
It's secured.
frost-protected footings, and I can
Yeah.
move that.
All right, so, any questions, Bob, Andrew?
No, I mean, I think, we'll have to work with Mr. Scullin to figure out the date that he submitted.
Yeah.
So that we can prepare whatever you decide correctly.
I can get you that date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you our email address and
Okay.
you can let us know, maybe by the date of your check if that was the same date.
Okay.
So, I don't have any other issues. I mentioned the same thing that Andrew, the cabana's got the same issue.
Well, should we continue this till we have something to vote on, or?
Well, I wrote up a motion because I was assuming that maybe we just didn't find the application.
All right.
Which
So-
was what I was going on to, so, yeah.
Where we already heard the gentleman speak.
Yeah.
This is the application, we continue it and just.
Well, the application to me lays out the facts.
Have to come back.
It's those 5 facts.
If he duplicates the application, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so, this is number,
2610.
so questions from the board?
How does it meet criteria 1 of a variance?
It's already in the ground. It's already there. It was an error. He clearly didn't do it on purpose.
Listen, I'm all for it.
He understands, Larry. We've had to deal with these plenty of times where people overbuild, they make a mistake, it gets picked up in the as-built. The financial crushing that would happen if we would make this thing be conforming is just,
Astronomical.
yes, it's not feasible, so.
I don't think anyone but the homeowner's getting screwed here.
Yeah,
If
I
it gets
agree.
voted no, so.
It's a mistake. We've had houses built 8, 9 inches over the line, it's already built, 3 stories, living in it, and it gets picked up.
So all you need is a 4-1 vote to pass it, right?
Yeah, exactly, so, I'm just gonna move that I'm gonna move that the board vote to grant the petitioner's application for a variance, subject to the conditions. So what would these conditions consist of, Bob, since we don't have an application?
The conditions for this particular?
Yeah. It's already built, you have everything, right, Andrew, the permits are all
We have
done?
an- We have an as-built.
Plan, so we know what the distance is.
We don't need that.
No,
It's the application.
It's, yeah, it's pretty much.
Submit a duplicate application since you've already submitted one. And
Same
that's-
office right there.
No,
Yeah,
bring
don't give it to
bring
Andrew.
Andrew Stewart.
All right, based on the finding of the applicant's proposal to allow for an installed swimming pool and cabana to encroach 9 inches into the rear lot line of the property located at 9 Old Woodlot Lane, as shown on the plot plan in Marshfield prepared by Matthew Skeldon, dated October 29, 2025, by Webby Engineering Associates Incorporated, Joseph E. Webby Jr., PLS, and loosely shown on a hand-altered as-built for the sewage septic system, updated but stamped on May 12, 2008 by Stenbeck and Taylor Incorporated. Tile and M's PE, and alterations are not to scale. Meets the dimensional variance criteria of section 610 and 1011 of the bylaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Excuse me, did you close this? We closed it?
Oh, I didn't close it.
No, you didn't close it.
So now, before, motion to close,
Second.
all in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Stephen Achai.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
And now, motion to what I just said.
Larry Keane, aye.
Stephen Stone.
Grover Hensey, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, board. Andrew, thank you.
All right, now we can get into the question mark. So this, the Bruce thing, Bob, has this all been squared away?
I think Attorney Brodsky is going to explain to you
All right.
some additional facts.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adam Brodsky. I'm a local land use and environmental lawyer, and I represent the Bruce Family Realty Trust. I do first want to express my condolences on Nancy's passing.
Thank you.
She was very kind to me, and
That's a wonderful human being. We're all going to miss her.
we were all going to miss her. Since we were last here, which was some time ago, there have been several developments. First, Feldman Geospatial has updated the survey plan with the correct flood zone as well as the correct location of the flood zone. And the plan demonstrates that the trust existing house is located outside of the flood zone, which corroborates what Mr. Stewart has told the ZBA and why I believe we're in agreement that there's no flood zone violation, which is the subject of the notice of violation. And Mr. Stewart also agreed, based upon understanding the site conditions, that the alleged violation for the protection of dunes is not relevant since this is not located in dunes. Second, just for informational purposes, we did provide to the board 2 photographs which demonstrates at least one corner of the deck which encroaches over the property line, simply to demonstrate we're talking about a matter of inches here, but I think you already understand that. Third, you may recall that the notice of violation also alleged that the deck walkway was constructed without a building permit. And Mr. Bruce's contractor actually discovered a building permit R19699, which it looks like it was applied for in July of 2019 and relates to the repair and replacement to a ground level deck. This was buried. We didn't know about it. I don't think Mr. Stewart knew about it. It just wasn't readily available and was difficult to find. We believe that this is the building permit for what's now the existing deck and a walkway. And so we did give that information to Mr. Stewart and asked that he reviews his conclusion that the deck walkway was constructed without a building permit. We think there was one. Lastly, when we were last in front of the board encouraged us to try and work things out with Ms. Banda and her trust, and without disclosing confidential settlement communications, a meaningful offer was made to Ms. Banda to purchase that very small portion of property, portion of the deck, up to the fence. You may recall there's an existing fence that's been there for decades that we believe was installed by the trust predecessors in title, in the hopes that that would resolve the encroachment issue. We would likely have to do some zoning relief to modify the lot lines. And anyway, it was all conditioned upon that. Ms. Banda declined to accept the offer and has indicated to us that she has no interest in selling the land. As I've said before, as respectfully as I can, I don't think that the property boundary dispute is really a subject for this board to consider, but we've done everything that the board has asked us to do to try and resolve that with Ms. Banda, and the parties are going to have to do something. But, I mean, this has been before this board for now months. I think the first public hearing was in August of last year. So we're requesting, please, that the board close the public hearing and grant a special permit to authorize the extension of the pre-existing non-conforming deck and walkway. If the board votes to grant the special permit, we will request the withdrawal of the variance. You may remember that we originally applied for a variance since we did not know that there was existing structure. Again, thanks to Mr. Stewart, he discovered and confirmed that in fact there was existing structure there, which allowed us to supplement our application to include a request for a special permit. And similarly, if the board grants the special permit, I believe that the appeal of the notice of violation will also be moot, and we will be able to withdraw that appeal. Again, there's no flood zone violation, no violation with respect to protection of dunes. There appears to be a building permit, and the only other violation, I believe, is that we had a structure within the setback, but we would correct that by the grant of a special permit. So with that said, I'm trying to answer any additional questions you may have.
So, Andrew, there is a building permit for the original deck?
So there was a building permit for a second-story deck and a porch and a deck, and it mentioned like a side deck. It wasn't specific, there weren't any plans for it, and there were never any inspections. So it wasn't like you could really say that it was specifically for that. But there was like a mention of a side deck. So you could assume that that's what it was, but there weren't any plans and there weren't any inspections for it.
So, Bob, is there any,
Yeah, and so the other thing I'll just say too is, yeah. I've received the plan, the updated plan that the land surveyor finally got that shows that the entire structure, including the decks, everything is completely out of the flood zone. So the floodplain violation is moot. There is no floodplain violation because the structure is not in a flood zone. It's correct that they're not in a coastal dune, so that aspect of it is also moot. And like you said, there was a building permit, technically, we didn't really do any inspections and there weren't any plans, but it could be interpreted that way for certain. So it's up to the board. You could certainly, grant an appeal, of the decision, or you could give them a special permit. Either way, I feel one of those two decisions would resolve everything.
Okay. Bob, do you have anything there?
No, I think, based on the new information you have, it sounds to me like Andrew's position may have changed on some or all of those issues that he originally violated them on. And so if you agree with that, then you'd grant the appeal based on the new information, and then you'd consider a special permit.
So but we could have, the appeal could just be moot, like, right?
We would,
Andrew said, because
we
he
would
agreed.
deny the appeal then.
No, you'd grant the
Grant
appeal.
the-
So Chair-
grant the special permit.
Oh, grant the
So-
appeal,
Grant the-
sorry,
yeah.
yes.
I'm sorry, Chairman, again, I may have this wrong, but if you grant the special permit, that resolves the
Resolves
sideline
everything.
setback issue.
Right.
That would moot the last violation.
Right.
We would withdraw
Withdraw your
our,
appeal.
we would withdraw our notice of appeal so that there's no
There's-
formal action on that.
Right.
Because we've
Gotcha.
addressed the outstanding conditions,
I
so.
didn't want to presume the applicant would withdraw.
That's how I saw it.
No, and again,
Well, you did say
we're
that.
very appreciative of Mr. Stewart's efforts here. We don't want to put him in a box.
So now, I'm sure you have something to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Pat Banda, 4 Ocean Street. If there was this newly found permit for a side deck,
Can
can
we have that? Thank you.
This is the side deck that existed. Okay. So there was never a deck that went straight across.
So what you're saying here is that this deck, if this permit exists, it was for that right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's not all the way to the seawall.
And it's also not up to my fence and on my property.
Can
Can I ask a question?
Can we see that, please, at some point?
Can I ask a question? What's the date of this picture? How was it taken?
The date of the picture is probably 2018.
Probably.
And you have a picture of your neighbor's house.
And how did you come by this picture?
I live next door.
So you
But how
took
did
a
you- how-
picture of your neighbor's house?
Hmm?
You took a picture of his house before he had a deck?
Well, this was before he lived there.
Yes, this is,
He wasn't the neighbor at the time.
Right.
I've had 4 neighbors in that house in the
Gotcha.
past 10 years.
Can I see it one more
So I'm
time?
assuming this was taken during the construction of whatever was going on.
No, that's not during construction, that's after a storm,
Okay.
okay? And there was also considerable damage out front. And basically, it's my husband took the picture to show the owner what his house looked like,
Yeah, okay.
okay?
But so now, does someone want to, Andrew, even Bob want to see that?
I don't need to see the picture. I saw it over Eric's, when Eric was holding it up. My
So now,
recommendation.
Bob, does that put that under Malta because what they did to,
Well, it was already too close to the side lot line.
right?
So it's a special permit. I mean, and the one thing and I've been saying it for a while, the one thing you can't do is resolve this boundary line dispute between them.
That's not up to us.
And that's gonna be resolved.
We can have in our answer
Between
that-
themselves or in another forum. So I think what makes most sense is to act on the special permit. If you end up granting the special permit, what I'm hearing from Attorney Brodsky is that they'll then withdraw their appeal. And then the parties are free to,
But we can put in the special permit that, or to restrict it to the lot, to the actual, whatever lot line is determined.
but I would prefer that you not do that because then you're presuming that
One is.
Well, they've
One
already
lot line.
agreed it's over the lot line.
we're not in a position to adjudicate the potential issues here.
Both parties agree it's over the lot line.
Okay, but both parties have not agreed how long it's been over the lot line or all of those things, and you're gonna insert yourselves in the middle of a dispute that we should stay far away from.
I'll have you
We know the
wordsmith
deck was
this.
built in 2019. We already know that, correct?
You cannot, as a board, authorize someone to work on somebody else's property.
Absolutely, we're
Which
not
mean-
doing that.
Which means that regardless of what you give permission for, this boundary line dispute is going to solve that issue.
And they can fight
But us
about
as a
it
board,
anyway.
how can we give a blessing to something that we clearly is built on someone else's
you're-
property?
Well,
Make no decision on who's right or wrong, and you'll be fine as a board.
I'll tell you, Larry,
If not, you're gonna get sued one way or the other, and then we will be a party to that case.
Yeah, so we've had this happen before, where actually a house was taken down, it was built on the other person's property, were over 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
But because it was so old and had been done so long ago, that was just,
Yeah.
that's
I
legal.
understand all that. but
So we
that's
didn't,
not-
we
that's not
didn't
what
weigh
we're
in
doing.
on the
This
lot
is-
line, we weighed in on where it was built, and we agreed the special permit is this.
Yeah, weighing in on where it's built, we are, everybody's in agreement, it's not on their property. The part that gets me with all of this, with all the meetings you've come to, and the attorneys and the engineering and everything else, you could have moved the deck 6 inches. Instead, you come in, and I remember the conversation was adverse possession. You know, that instantly bothers me.
But I think what they're
Your homeowner.
the dispute
Let them,
is,
us, to me, the deck isn't going anywhere. So to me, us not giving a blessing on them is putting it back on them. They've got to address it. Those two neighbors need to address it. They need to go to court. They need to get their property line straightened out. The deck is there. I don't see anybody telling them, you gotta get out and pull the deck out of the ground. It's there. But I just don't see how the town of Marshfield can give the blessing to a structure that we know is built on someone else's property and recently built on somebody else's property.
And without a permit.
That doesn't weigh well with me.
So.
There was a permit.
If I might, I'm led to believe by all of the surveyors that trying to survey property lines in this portion of Marshfield is incredibly difficult.
I don't doubt that for a second. Then
We-
they
we-
should
we-
be in caution and built it over a little bit.
So-
And instead of this neighbor losing 6 inches, maybe the applicant.
but you didn't
So
build it,
We
right?
didn't, so Mr. Kane,
didn't build the deck.
we didn't build it.
Correct.
The Bruces purchased the property.
Recently.
And are stuck with this problem caused by
I
others.
totally understand.
But my point is, and
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I don't want to discuss adverse possession for all the reasons that.
You brought it up, though.
Yes, sir,
You're the one that
because,
brought it up.
because I need to make it clear that under the
You're
doctrine,
threatening this lady to take her property.
no, sir.
You brought
I'm
it up.
trying to
That's what
solve,
you said. It's on record. You said adverse possession.
yes, sir.
That's
Can I,
gonna be an
can I
adverse
speak,
possession.
Mr. Keen?
I'm sorry?
Can I speak, please?
I'm making something clear. Did you
Yes,
not
sir.
bring that up, or did you?
Yes, sir, I mentioned, can I explain why I mentioned
Go right
that?
ahead.
For this reason, I'm trying to explain to the board that they should not involve themselves in this because of these complicated issues. Under the doctrine of adverse possession, after 20 years of open and adverse possession, title on that land belongs to the property owner that has used that property continuously.
It's not that simple.
It is that simple.
It is not that simple.
It is, that's
So Bob, how
that's
do
the
we
law.
figure out who can vote on this? because the application was made before Steve.
So I've already
No, no, wait a
recused
minute.
myself in the voting. for
Steve's
this.
not in it, and the question is, was Eric on the board when they applied, and how many meetings did we have?
No, it was Brian Sullivan and Heidi were here when it started.
Yeah, but you only have to, if you could miss one meeting and still vote.
Did you watch the other meetings?
I did.
Okay. So is he,
I don't know whether he missed one meeting or more than one meeting. I'm sorry, I just don't.
so Nancy's not here?
No, because I filed the, whatever you call that thing.
No, I know.
I filed it, so Eric's been here since I've been here, so I'm sure Eric only, if he says he's watched the,
I'm just saying, I can't personally say it, and I'm not saying that Eric's wrong either. But you gotta stay away from these legal issues.
Listen, I know what you're saying, Bob, I'm just trying to figure out who can vote. I think what we'll have to do is we're gonna have to vote.
But Larry's been here.
No, we've all been here. Gene and Mac have been
I can
here.
recuse as well. If it makes it easier, I'm just saying, because we don't know.
You know, just that, not because I think you have any conflict or anything, but just so that we're not running into another issue. Yeah, it might be easier to choose Mac or Gene Lee.
Well, if Eric's gonna recuse, then that.
Well, he doesn't need to recuse himself. He's just not.
Not
100%
voting.
certain on
Not voting,
how
okay.
many meetings he missed, so.
Well, no, that means that then it's Gene and Mac.
now, he missed one meeting, Bob, because I signed the application to review the minutes
Missed one,
and get the
one
vote.
and one, but there was no, we don't know the substance between.
I wish I knew the answer, but I
Well,
don't
none of
have
us
any
do.
reason to believe Steve Lynch when he says that he thinks it was just one. And I don't have any reason to doubt that.
Well, it's been more than one, but there was no, we didn't take action on it, so I guess that doesn't count.
There was no testimony.
Yeah, we didn't do, no testimony.
I can talk though, right? I'm just recusing
Absolutely.
myself from voting. So if we don't take action on this, right, then the violation stands? Andrew, you're gonna keep it in place?
No,
Not from his notes that I read.
So you're contending that there was a permit for the existing deck at some time, and so now you're gonna remove the,
I've got the language of it.
I just wanna know, yes or no, you're gonna remove the violation? You're gonna withdraw it?
Well, based on the guidance from this board, yeah, you know, that would probably be my course of action if you guys, don't do anything.
So then if you withdraw the violation, you can withdraw the variance request, and then the board only has to vote on the special permit, right?
Correct.
Well, I was just suggesting that you act on the special permit. If you grant the special permit,
Sorry. Act on the special permit. If you grant the special permit, Attorney Brodsky is indicating that his client will withdraw the appeal and probably the request for a variance. So I think you should act on the special permit. And I understand particularly Larry's concern that there's an issue here which might not be clear to anyone whether all of this land is owned by the Banda family or the Bruce family. We just got to stay out of it. We got to stay out of it because we don't know the answer, we don't know the facts, and we can't presume it either way.
I understand that, but now voting the other direction, say we were to give this, the town was to give this the blessing, wouldn't we be weighing in on
No.
the applicant's side?
No, like I told you, Larry, is we've had to do this before in the past, and we've had to vote on something because it's not us to determine, up to us to determine.
We'll make it
We voted for things over the property line because that's the pre-existing non-conforming status. But this
We'll
is
make
a
it-
question of when it was built.
We'll make it crystal clear if you act on the special permit that you're not making any judgment about where the boundary line is there.
Well, if Andrew withdraws the violation, why even act on the special permit? There'd be no action. There'd be no action that causes any harm to either one, and they can go back to the negotiation board between each other. Right? Why do you need to vote on the special permit if Andrew withdraws the violation?
Yeah, true, yeah. So technically, because I reread the notice of violation, and it said all permits and approvals. And in order to expand that ground level deck like it was, it should have had a special permit.
Still needs the special.
Still needs a special permit to expand and alter the non-conforming aspect of it. So
So then you're not
that's
gonna.
still a permit you need to do that work. Even though they had the building permit, they still need that special permit. So that's the point. But, so that.
So what are you recommending here, Bob?
I think you should act on the special permit.
Act on the special permit.
And then there'll be a withdrawal if it's granted. If you deny it, then you're gonna deal with the
Then what happens?
variance.
Then what happens? What happens
Well, it
if the
sounds to me
special
like
permit
our-
and the variance gets denied? What happens?
It sounds like our building inspector is going to indicate that he no longer believes it's a violation. If you deny the special permit, I mean, I guess then you're into the variance. You got to decide whether the variance is granted or not. And either way, you get sued in a circumstance where you can completely avoid it.
Yeah, that's sacrificing another taxpayer's piece of property.
No, I think I think you're weighing in one way
But we're
or another.
on something that we
No,
know is fact.
absolutely not.
Because there's two plans.
You are not.
Hearing plans.
Well, let's assume they didn't have a boundary line dispute.
Yeah.
You would agree with me that we're dealing with a special permit?
If there was no, if we did not know that was absolutely built on someone else's property, I would agree.
Well,
No,
but you don't-
know it's built and we're given the
So
sanction to it.
all I can do is lead you to the water. I can't make you drink.
I understand.
And I'm telling you by,
Disagree. I don't think the town has the ability of saying, you built, or not you, the previous homeowner, that real estate, Pete, built the deck on someone else's property, and we're giving you the blessing for it.
okay,
We know
but
what happened.
you don't know one way or the other whether that land has been fenced in for more than 20 years. And by saying it wasn't, you're favoring the other party. I'm telling you to make absolutely no judgment about where the boundary line is. Decide the special permit. Let the court take care of whether the portion of the special permit is invalid or not. Because the rest of the special permit will ultimately be valid.
On the flip side, let them have to prove that.
You're either going to make you're going to make the town a party to a lawsuit, or you're not. So,
Do you inherit adverse possession time?
excuse me?
So there's one,
Yes, sir.
you do? So if you buy property,
Yeah.
someone that's 7 years into adverse possession, then you're.
It's called tacking. You can tack a prior possessor's
Okay.
use.
So you don't have to have continuous ownership.
You have to have continuous ownership, but you can tack a prior possessor's use.
Larry, what if we put a condition on it that they had to cut it back to the property
Bob just
line?
said we can't do that.
No. You make a condition that we're not making any judgment of where the property line is. And if it's determined that the property line is wrong and Mr. Bruce is wrong, then the special permit will have to be modified to bring back the deck.
I make a motion that we do that.
I agree with
Yeah.
We should have, why wasn't that done 6 months ago and all this stuff?
Because we
I think
just
it was
discussed
brought
that
up, but then
tonight.
I tried.
they were-
It started as an
Their lot
appeal.
line dispute was so far apart that we wanted them to get closer on it.
We were
So
hoping
we
they
would
could
make a
talk,
condition that they would have to remove
the part of the deck that's on the other
their
property. Well, we're just gonna make it
No,
so.
The condition would be, if you grant the special permit, and it's subsequently determined that a portion of the deck encroaches onto the Banda property, then that portion of the deck that encroaches will be removed.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
And what about setback?
They're already
It's an
violating.
R3,
Let me answer the question. If they're already in violation of the setback, the board can grant a special permit to allow more. It doesn't have to, but it can. And, the board, tries to
We had
be
already,
practical about small lots.
we had already talked about this with the small lot. This is their main egress out the side. It's the one way to get from the front to the back without going on your property and without having to go on the neighbor's property. I think it's the smart thing to do.
Correct, and there was
Just
an
putting it-
existing encroachment into the setback. We're extending that existing non-conformity.
But I think the main thing this board is saying is that not that we're involved in the dispute, but we want it to be within the property line of on your property and not on
So
hers.
you willing to move it onto your property fully?
Well, no, we're
No,
saying
so-
that
Like-
if this
It's
is
ultimately-
disputed,
I think
that is
that-
gonna happen.
So, Chairman,
Larry, I don't think
I
you're
think
listening.
I think that's a statement of the law.
Right.
So if we're unsuccessful to resolve the property boundary, and it's determined that ultimately we're encroaching on the Banda's property.
You're gonna move
that-
it.
That would be a trespass, and we would have to remove the encroaching portion of the deck. So I think that's a statement of what the existing law is. So I have,
And we're putting the onus on her.
so if I might, sir.
Right.
No, we're not. We're
All of this
saying the
onus,
agreement.
all of
We're
this.
just gonna move the deck?
Larry, it's not about,
They have-
it's cutting a piece of the deck off and putting it on the property line. If it's established that that is over the property line,
Which has been.
what we're saying is that our special permit says you have to move it back. Have to.
Okay. What are the
So-
repercussions if he doesn't?
That would be a
He starts getting a
violation.
daily fine.
Okay.
And so, I just have a question for you. So so she would have to bring, she would have to bring action against you for being it on, for the deck being on her property, right? And the land court judge would have to decide that it's her land. But even if the land court judge decides that it's her land, then your defense is gonna be adverse to possession, right?
If an action is brought for trespass, we would answer that by counterclaiming and claiming adverse possession. All of those issues would
Deck's
be
only been there
resolved.
7 years.
Excuse me, sir, you can put the picture down while we're discussing this. We don't need to see the picture again. We've
You don't
seen
need to
plenty
see
of
the
them.
picture of the-
I don't want to see it.
So
Thank you.
the adverse possession claim is based upon the use of the land within the fence. It's unrelated to the deck. So it's that use of that land. So again, if I might just give you a different perspective, Bruce's bought this property. They didn't cause this problem. We've described the circumstances of all of the interactions between the
You told us
neighbors.
she tried to buy it. She doesn't wanna sell it.
Yes, sir. So, I'm sorry, can I finish, please?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. And so, just as you perceive that there's a fairness issue with the banners, there's a fairness issue here for my clients who have had to spend X number of dollars with experts and lawyers to try and resolve an issue that's not their making. They didn't construct that. We will continue to try and resolve this short of litigation. Litigation is the last resort. The last thing I want to see is the
Could've
parties.
moved the deck. All the money you
it's-
spent, you could've moved the deck.
But Larry, they still don't even know where the boundaries are.
It's.
The-
yeah,
the
it's
two-
clearly
the
not
two
your intention to
people
move the deck.
don't
To me, you have
agree.
no intention of ever doing that. So you're sacrificing this lady's
You're-
property
you're-
by adverse possession, and you brought it up, not
So,
me. And I
you're
think this
making-
is rotten of a neighbor doing to another neighbor. I am not gonna give concession to something that is clearly built on someone else's property.
And you've disregarded everything that the bandits have done that we've talked about
I have.
by taking a side in this dispute.
I'm not taking a side.
Absolutely,
I'm
Mr.
telling
King.
you the fact that it's built on someone else's property.
How do you know that?
I think
So-
the town's irresponsible to say, we'll accept that.
So if I might, you may remember that we had two different surveys. And this
You had
board's,
multiple surveys, and it took you months for your survey
Yes, sir.
to come in.
Yes, sir.
This lady showed up every single time, and her engineer was here several times.
My family showed up every single time with my 7-year-old
saying you
son
didn't.
as well. He also showed up here.
Your
You-
7-year-old
I'm
son,
sorry,
what's
but
your
I'm
7-year-old son?
listening.
All right, listen, I've had enough. I've had enough.
We are.
I've had enough.
We are-
I am the chair. I've had enough. Do you have anything to add?
What's to keep Mr. Bruce from, I came home June 2024 from work, and Mr. Bruce had bulldozed into 70 square feet into my yard, beyond, okay? Set his chairs there and left them there, okay? And that's what caused me to start with the survey, okay? So I think somebody said I wasn't Bonnie and Clyde the last time we were here, and I really am not. I was very displeased to come home and have somebody have his lawn chairs sitting on property that he decided was his. I really don't feel protected by, if a special permit is allowed. I've already gotten a letter from the group offering me money, way more money than the land is worth. So what's the big deal? I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for them to take some boards off of that deck, get off of my property, and everybody can coexist. It doesn't need to get all law court or land court and whatnot. Land court, I understand, is incredibly expensive, and it's also, it takes a long time to get resolved.
So from what I understand, this deck is considered to be 1/10 and a quarter, 1/10 of an inch, well, I mean, 1/10 of an inch over, or 1/10 over. So that is the equivalent of an inch and a quarter. Is that what you agree, or do you agree it's more? I don't care about the picture.
Stanbeck's survey showed that it was 5 inches, okay? Which is, you know,
But then when
two
Rick
by four.
Savant came in, he agreed with whatever they came to an agreement of, which I
Right.
believed was 1/10.
and it's, well, yeah, it's, the difference between the Bruce's surveyor and my surveyor is like 1/10 of an inch. Okay? What Stenbeck.
Sorry, 1/10 of, so
What
it's an inch and a
Sten-
quarter.
What Stenbeck is saying is that the deck is 5 inches over. And those are pictures, I've got pictures here, there's pictures up there.
And
I'm
they're
not gonna
saying
bring
it's-
out the pictures.
They're saying it's 3 3/4 over?
Yeah,
Is
it's,
that what you're saying, Adam?
There's
No.
a dimension on the plan, and again, that was a compromise plan to try and bridge the gap between the two parties.
So regardless of what part of this deck may or may not be over a line, it still needs a special permit,
Yes, sir.
regardless.
Yes, sir.
So can we just vote on the special permit, please?
Well, I'd like to, but.
May I have a few opportunity to
No,
talk?
you have a speaker here for
We've
yourself.
heard enough for me. Anyone else have to hear anything else?
I know what I'm voting.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to move that we close 2542 Matthew Bruce, trustee, Bruce Family Realty Trust, 8 Ocean Street. 2542A Matthew Bruce, trustee, Bruce Family Realty Trust, 8 Ocean Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Graham Hensy, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
I'm recusing myself
That's
just
all
in
right.
case.
You're just not voting. So, go ahead, Bob.
Decide the special permit.
Yeah, I know, but you have, I
If
don't
you
have any
grant it,
language for
Make
that.
sure you expressly indicate that you're not making any.
Well, you'll be
judgment.
doing that as you wordsmith this for us.
You're not making any judgment where the line is. If it's subsequently
Agreed.
determined that any portion of the deck encroaches into the abandoned property, it shall be removed forthwith.
But so they've agreed that it's either 3.5 or 5 inches over. We can't,
What no one has agreed on is who owns the land, either
In between.
Ms. Banda has a deed saying she owns it, Mr. Bruce has a claim that says he and his predecessors.
Pedaled, have fenced this in for 20 years. We can't resolve this, and that's why I keep on saying, don't get in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Grant only the special permit, and if there's a determination by someone that has the authority to decide this, that any portion of this deck is over the line, then that has to be removed forthwith.
but so Mrs. Banda can appeal this decision if it's not.
Mr. Bruce could sue Ms. Banda, Ms. Banda could sue Mr. Bruce. I just don't want our board to get sued.
Right, so, but she can
This is
appeal our
completely
decision.
unnecessary.
Just want her to understand.
She also has the option to appeal the special permit.
Right. Okay.
Do you think the special permit's legal? Absolutely.
All right, well, go ahead, wordsmith this thing up, because
Well, I mean, the board has to give me some feedback.
you
I don't-
gotta do it in the
You
affirmative.
need 4 out of
So we either
5,
vote
you need
for or
4 out of
against.
5 people to vote it.
What's that?
You need 4 out of 5 people to vote it. How do people
Correct.
feel before I craft a motion?
I think we grant the special permit with the, saying that.
So it would be, the motion would be that I move that the board grant a special permit allowing the alteration of a non-conforming structure to a deck, to the extent it's subsequently determined that the deck is not within the boundary lines of the Bruce property.
Needs to be removed.
The deck shall be forthwith modified to restore it.
Along the property.
Bring it within the
Within.
property lines of the Bruce property.
Go ahead. That's it?
Yeah.
Special permit,
That's a grant, if you want to grant it. And if you want a denial, to say that,
So, I'm gonna adopt Bob's language. All in favor?
Larry Keane, no.
Graham Hensy, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
All right.
And then do they have to withdraw their
So now we got to address are you going to withdraw the other two items?
Excuse me, I just want to make sure I've
It's 4-1.
missed someone. Yes,
It was Larry, Grover,
Yes, yes,
myself,
Thank
Mac, and Gene.
thank you. I missed someone. Thank you very much. Yes, we would make a request to please withdraw the request for a variance
Without prejudice?
of prejudice.
Okay. He's going to withdraw without prejudice. All in
Make a
favor?
motion to approve that.
Yep. All in favor to approve?
Larry Keane, yes.
Grover Hensel, yes.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
And
Thank you, and based on Mr. Stewart's determinations, we'll make a request to withdraw the notice of appeal of the violation, please.
So notice, all in favor of that?
Larry Keane, aye.
Grover Hensel, yes.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Andrew, do we have anything else?
I don't believe so. I
Do
included.
we have any
the-
minutes or anything to approve?
No, nothing like that right now.
Isn't that your job?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's Larry's job.
Larry's actually offered to
He's
help
the
out
clerk.
with taking some minutes, so between him and
Yeah, he's doing that
the
tonight.
stuff Bob's gonna do, and we'll figure that out as we go along and try to keep up with the minutes and get them up and posted.
So there was something else I thought you wanted to have a quick discussion on. No? Am I losing my mind here? Was it just about the dock approval thing?
Is there something on the agenda? What's that?
No, you talked to me earlier, just, you thought it would be part of business minutes, or, I can't remember.
I can't either,
Skip
Brian.
it and add it to your next agenda.
Combobulated.
Next agenda seems like a
Next
good
agenda,
place
seems
to
like,
start.
all right, motion to adjourn,
Second,
all in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Grover Hensel, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye?
Mac Brothers, aye.
Jean Lee, aye.
Eric Murphy, aye.
Bob, I got a question for you.
It's over, it's too late.
So